Hello everyone, this is Taylor Edrington with Royal Gorge Anglers with the latest video report on the Arkansas River. Uh, Today we're looking at around 500 CFS flows, which is an excellent flow for this early winter time period in southern Colorado. We expect flow management throughout the winter to be around the 400 to 500 CFS level, which will keep fish in steady feeding lies, fairly deep. However, that allows for excellent structure and holding water throughout the lower river and really all the way up to Salida. This flow will keep fish actively feeding for a good amount of time as we start to see colder temperatures start to set in the lower part of the river from Salida down. Basically, right now we have a lot of brown trout that are post spawn, and we still have some fish that are actively spawning. On our private stretches, we have several areas where we have 10 to 15 consecutive reds with fish still working on them. So be aware of that when you're walk wading, and be cautious when you're out there to not target fish that are actively spawning on reds. We will see that really start to slow down here in the coming weeks as we start to get a few more cold snaps. Fish will continue to spawn, but kind of wrap that up as we go deeper into November. As far as fishing goes on the Arkansas, completely really steady productivity all the way up the river corridor, and today I'm gonna dive a little deeper into not only the watershed from Canyon City to Salida, which we usually focus on, but also the Arkansas River tailwater below Pueblo Reservoir, which is really coming into its own here and is one of the better winter fisheries in the state. As far as rigging procedures go on the upper river, we're going to focus on really, kind of deeper nymphing techniques in an attempt to, try to, focus on those fish that are in deeper feeding lies and tailouts below oxygenated riffles and other oxygenated structure. There are a good amount of fish still holding in rock croppings and that heavy structure. However, a lot of those actively feeding fish that are usually post-spawn or still spawning and moving into that territory to feed are in those tailouts, the deeper water below that oxygenated water, because it holds just a little higher temperature, just a little bit higher thermocline in that deeper water column. And so those fish kind of hang there and feel more prompted to actively feed. So what we're going to focus on pattern-wise, really this river is pretty simple in the late fall. Streamers are tending to, drop off just a little bit. The streamer fishing is not as productive as it was earlier in the fall. The late fall and early winter, we want to focus on that deeper nymphing with big stoneflies, size 6 to 12, heavy, and trailing little blueing olive nymphs and bigger midge larvae mostly. So that's kind of what we want to look at. As far as your lead fly, which I suggest to be a stonefly, we have several different patterns that I'd like to focus on today. Number one and first and foremost being the Jumbo John. John Barr's Jumbo John is really hard to beat as a big attractor stonefly pattern. Got the rubber legs, you've got that real yellow gold body, and this is going to be a size 8, tied on a Tiemco SP hook, which is a nice solid hooking power hook. So that's going to be my number 1 stonefly. My number 2 productivity stonefly through the late fall and early winter is going to be tungsten 20-incher, and this is in a size 8 as well. Different hook, just going to be a long shank nib hook, but an excellent modeled stonefly for this river. So that's the tungsten 20-incher in a size 8. We also fish the tungsten 20-incher in a size 12 to 14 quite consistently. Another really excellent pattern is a size 10 Guide's Choice Hare's Ear. It's a standard hare's ear in the light gray with a soft tackle and red thread head, gold bead head as well. Just an excellent attractor pattern, stonefly imitation on this river. So those are my 3 go-to stoneflies. They're all tungsten, they're all very heavy, they all get down with ease, and hardly ever are you going to have to add any weight to those. Trailing off those can either be 1 or 2 more flies. What I suggest is attractor flies right now are moving back into the caddis larva stage. We have a lot of caddis larvae in the river again, and fish are, more than ever starting to key on them again. As PMDs, red quills, and blue wings start to kind of fizzle out, they go back to their bread and butter, and that's the caddis larva and stoneflies. So this is a splat caddis, size 14, and this is Shea Gunkel's pattern, tungsten, epoxy back, excellent pattern. So that is the splat caddis. And then going back to one of our just most productive patterns year-round is the chartreuse copperjohn. And that's in a size 14 as well. We tie it in a size 16 and 18 if you want to just get a little bit smaller. But that's a chartreuse copperjohn, and one excellent and productive pattern on this river. Then I like to throw, maybe below that as a 3-fly rig or just 2 flies, other than the caddis larva, going with 2-bit hooker red, and that's going to be pretty tough to see. That's a number 20. 2 tungsten beads gets down really well, and that's just an excellent attractor pattern this time of year throughout the winter. Another excellent pattern on this river that has been producing actually all fall and will continue to in the winter is the Quasimodo pheasant tail in a size 18 to 20. Covers a lot of different bases. Still got that red quilt imitation, blue-winged olive. A pheasant tail is just really hard to beat, and the Quasimodo's tied on that curved scud hook. So just a little bit more buggy looking than a standard pheasant tail tied on a straight shank. So that kind of, gets you together on nymphing on this river. And nymphing is really what you want to key on. Obviously, changing your indicator depths and weights dependent on, what water you are fishing based on speed as well as depth. So usually, a good rule of thumb is to go 1.5 times the depth of the water column. However, there's some deeper and faster runs right now at 500 CFS or even 400 CFS up that require you to go 2 times the depth just to get down to the fish. And like I said, again, the fish are fairly deep right now. We'll have some real sporadic blue-winged olive hatches if we reach the correct water temperatures based on radiant heat, but do not, don't expect them. A lot of midge hatches out there. Fish will sporadically feed on midges.